In part 1 of this video, I showed you how to install Photoprism on your Synology NAS using Docker Compose, and we configured things. This time, I want to show you how to add a little bit more finesse. We are going to set it up so that Photoprism will automatically start when you reboot your Synology NAS. And second, we're going to add a way to have a nice looking URL so that you don't have to have family members typing in port 2342 in their browser. They can just go to something nice. Let's get started. At this point, we have everything installed. Photoprism is running just fine. What I want to do is make it so that we have it automatically restart. And that's a simple matter of going into that YAML file that we had. I'm going to click on Photoprism here. There's our Docker Compose. And let's edit that again. Remember, this time I put in text editor. And I'm going to go open Photoprism, Docker Compose. And we are going to find the restart. So somewhere in here, we should see restart unless stopped right there. And MariaDB is set up restart unless stopped. All right, that's it. Now let's shut down and restart the container. Sudo docker compose down. And it's actually doing more than you think. It's getting rid of the containers. We'll notice over here that they are going to go away. But that's not a problem. Our files where we keep everything, we're going to close this right here. Our files are still there, the storage and the database. So when we create new containers, and I'm going to do sudo docker compose up -d, it's going to make new containers. However, remember with Docker, the containers are all static. There's nothing that changes in the actual container itself. All the state for containers is stored in a file system or databases or whatever. In this case, here and here. We've started this. We've got creating Photoprism MariaDB, Photoprism, and we should see there's our containers. I'm going to go and look and just make sure everything's up to date. Yeah, it's listening. We're good to go. And we go here and we'll refresh. And there's our pictures. So all we did was we made a change that's going to make it so that when we restart our Synology NAS, Photoprism should come back up. We don't need to go in there anymore. We're done. If you notice, we have an ugly URL that I'm not very happy with. I don't want to send this to my family members and say, don't forget, go to 192.168.10.10:2342 to see your pictures. That's not a friendly URL. So what we're going to do is we are going to go to duckdns.org. That is where you can get free DNS. And why are we doing this? We're doing this because we want to be able to have a friendly name that will point to our Photoprism that is inside our house. With a DNS provider, like if you get your own domain name, you can use that for your public website or something, but there is nothing that says you cannot take your own domain name and point it to a private IP address, like a 192.168.1.5 or something like that. It's not going to work anywhere else in the world. Anybody else uses your domain name, it's going to be looking for something on their own private network. But it means that you can have a friendly domain name that will work for stuff that you want to use in your house to make it work cleanly and nicely. So this is our first step. And with DuckDNS, you don't create an account on DuckDNS yourself, what you do is you have to log in with one of these things. And I'm just going to use Google. At this point, we just want to put in a subdomain that we want to use. And I'm going to call mine Chili Willy. Click Add Domain, and it says successfully added. It'll have your public IP, so we want to change that 192.168.10.10, and you click Update IP. Bingo, we're good. So let me go to a terminal window, and ping chili.duckdns.org. Son of a gun, it actually got 192.168.10.10. So the next step that we want to do is we're going to have to tell Synology to use our new DNS entry that we made. We're going to go to Control Panel, Application Portal, Reverse Proxy. Isn't that cool? Synology comes with a built-in reverse proxy. And what that does is it takes some nice, pretty name that you want to use and it points it behind the scenes to something else. Create Photoprism. We're going to put in the domain name we just created, and we're going to put photo in front of it. Photo.chili.duck.dns.org. So what we've done here, we're making a host name called photo that's in the new domain we just made for ourselves, .chiliwilly.duckdns.org. We'll leave it at port 80. We don't want to put anything else in here. We're going to go down here and say HTTP, our destination is going to be localhost. Sounds good. Port 2342. Now we have to do a custom header. The reason we have to do this is because in order for a web page to have that nice interactive, like it's a live application look, which Photoprism has, where over here where we see these numbers updating and everything, you want to have a feature called WebSockets enabled. So you go to custom header and then click this down arrow and notice it will actually create a WebSocket entry for you. It makes these two entries. Just leave them be. That's all we need. We click OK and we're good to go. So I should be able to go in and type photo.chiliwilly.duckdns.org and look at that. So I can have my family members go to photo.chiliwilly.duckdns.org and they will find our photo gallery. That's pretty cool. One thing I want to point out is that this is for inside your house only. I don't cover setting things up so that you can access Photoprism from the internet. That's beyond the scope. It's doable, and they'll tell you on their website how to do it. You want to set things up like you want to have Cloudflare in front of it, and you want to make sure you have usernames and passwords and all these other security things. Within your own private network, though, you set it up just like we did and set up the DNS the way we set it up, and you'll be golden. At this point, everybody in your house can easily go and see all the photos you have. Thank you for watching.